Daring Abroad, brought to you by Equity Bank Diaspora Banking.
He was the best male student in Kajiado County in 2013. I met him at the University of Richmond in Virginia, USA, where he's studying economics and mathematics. He managed to come home here in Kiserian for Christmas and New Year holiday. Today on Daring Abroad, the story of Michael Kitimet. Michael, tumefika.
Karibuni nyumbani, karibuni nyumbani. Mzuri sana, mzuri sana. Wewe ndio unaona kwa TV.
Mimi ndio naona kwa TV. For Michael, who is among the beneficiaries of the Equity Leaders Program, reconnecting with family at least once a year is refreshing, as the family has been his most important source of inspiration in life. Michael was raised up by a single parent. His father passed on in 1998 when he was only 4 years old. His mother, full of joy, shared with us how she managed to educate Michael and what she has gone through to raise 7 children single-handedly.
Nakuwa nikifanya biashara ya kununua mboga, tumakaa hivyo, na napata kitu ya kujisaidia kwa kila siku. Nilikuwa naingia chama hii ya kina mama, naenda nakopa pesa, narudi kulipa baadaye kidogo kidogo, na mtoto anaendelea na masomo. Niomba Mungu anipatie bidii, nione watoto wangu wamesoma, sitaki kuona watoto wangu wakitabika, wakirandaranda huko mitaani. Nikafanya bidii, Mungu akiwa mbele, sana sana mimi nakaa Mungu wangu mbele. Ndiye aweze kunisaidia. Mungu ndio mambo yote. Sio mimi siwezi bila Mungu. Hapana. Hata watu wengine walikuwa wananiambia, kwa nini unawaachilia mtoto mdogo anaenda nchi ya nje? Kumwambia mimi sio mimi nilimuumba, ni Mungu alimuumba. Yeye ndiye atamlinda na amrudishe.
During his trip back home, Michael spared time to meet teachers and students at his former high school, an hour's drive from their Kiserian home.
I'm happy to be back. So many changes. I didn't leave the story building.
Michael gave a motivational talk to the Form 4 class, emphasizing lessons on what it takes to get an admission in American universities and how to secure a scholarship.
Most schools in the US have funding, and you go study, provided you maintain a certain GPA. So a GPA, we don't have GPAs in high schools here, but a GPA is like a grade estimate. So provided you hit a certain grade, they'll continue funding you through your schooling.
He maintained at every end of the term grades A or A minus. It was either of the two until he finished his 4th form. His excelling has made others be motivated that they also get that kind of scholarship.
From Kajiado, we now take you to the University of Richmond in Virginia State, USA, where Michael is studying mathematics and economics at the Robbins School of Economics.
I came August 2015, fall of 2017. 2015. Okay. It's about 3 years.
About 3 years.
About 3 years now.
You're a junior. What does that mean?
So that's a 3rd year.
A junior.
A junior. A junior is a 3rd year. A freshman is a 1st year. A sophomore is a 2nd year. A junior is a 3rd year, and a senior is a 4th year. I mean, it was a big decision for me to make, coming to the US. This building houses 2 main departments. On the left side is the Jepson School of Leadership, and the other side is the Math and Computer Science. So I have some of my math classes in this building. I actually didn't know anything about operations research until I came to the US and took a class in operations research. It's about passion. If you're not passionate about something, you definitely will not put in your best. And I really wanted a course or a trajectory that I feel I'm passionate about the most.
Currently, there are 7 Kenyan students in this university. The university's population is estimated at 4,000 students.
I'm half Masai, half Kamba. Yeah. Yeah. This is Thomas Hall. This is the building where I live. It's a building for upperclassmen. Upperclassmen we refer to third years and fourth years. Actually, when I first came here, I felt homesick. You know, it was being exposed to a different environment. Though I had come to the US about 2 years ago, it was a totally different experience, different environment. But Virginia was also a different environment altogether. So
It was tough.
like when I came to Virginia, I felt a huge language barrier because initially I felt my English was so good, but then you know, sometimes I had difficulty even understanding what my professors were saying in class. Yeah.
When you say water, some people may not know what you mean. You have to say water.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, Virginia is considered a southern state, so there's that huge, thick accent.
Find out how Michael intends to use his knowledge to contribute to change in Kenya in a moment.
On Miles Away, we give you some facts about Richmond City. Richmond is the capital of Virginia, a state in the southeastern and mid-Atlantic region of the USA. Currently, the city has a population of approximately 1 million people. Richmond is historically known for being the first place slaves landed from West Africa during the slave trade period. The city, being the center of slave trade, became an economic powerhouse resulting in numerous factories. Despite this dark past, the city has been in the forefront in black empowerment and producing the first ever African-American governor, Lawrence Douglas Wilder. Wilder was voted in office as Virginia's governor in 1989. It is a popular tourist destination. In Richmond, there is also a popular spectator sport, rat basketball. Yes, rats playing basketball.
One is closest.
Moreover, the city is known for having the largest number of people who stick to their New Year resolutions. And that's miles away.
Michael's journey to Richmond began with the exposure he got during the Equity Leaders program.
In my KCSE, I was the second best male student in Kajiado County. And because of that, equity program picked me. You know, they guided us with the applications to schools abroad, you know, and basically guided us throughout the process, you know, trying to, you know, let us know about the different schools in the US which have full scholarships and which schools, you know, would be the best fit for us. And that is how I actually ended up applying to the University of Richmond and got accepted.
Michael is looking forward to contributing to the transformation of the transport sector in Kenya.
Operations is basically a field that uses analytical methods to come up with the best solutions or the best decisions when you're presented with a wide variety of options. Back home, Nairobi is a city that's widely congested, lots of traffic congestion. So I believe my knowledge in operations research will be used, I can use my knowledge in operations research to be able to develop better transportation management systems that can be able to manage traffic better. Like trying to find out how many cars should enter an intersection or how many cars should leave a roundabout. You know, in the case where you have several roundabouts, you know, a couple distance away from each other, how many cars should enter that roundabout and how many cars should have left the other roundabout by the time these new cars are entering. So it's all about analyzing and coming up with the best solution. Anybody who comes to Nairobi, that's the first thing they notice: traffic congestion.
He is advising aspiring students that it is never easy to make it in higher education in the US if one does not have proper funding.
So according to the upcoming academic year, it's going to cost about $68,000 to attend the University of Richmond, which is about roughly 6.8 million Kenyan shillings. Yeah, and so for my scholarship, it covers tuition, which is the biggest chunk of out of the $68,000. It's roughly around $50,000 for tuition, and then I have room and board covered, and I also have a small stipend to help me with college expenses such as books, and I have my insurance covered, my health insurance covered by my scholarship as well.
If you didn't get a scholarship, would your family or would you have managed to come afford?
The scholarship is like the most important thing, because you can get an admission, but if you don't get a scholarship, I mean, attending some of these schools is, you know, just too expensive.
It is expensive.
Just too expensive. You graduate with huge student loans, and I don't think that would be the best place to start, especially if you're an international student. Even though somebody would argue that they would come and work here, I wouldn't advise that, because especially if you're an international student, they place a work limit. Like for me, I work on campus, but I can only work a maximum of 20 hours a week.
Being on scholarship has enabled Michael to have the peace of mind, thus concentrating on studies.
One of the things I'm really proud about the University of Richmond is that it gives one the opportunity to explore different classes during their first year. Somebody comes, like most students come here undecided on what they want to study. So it gives them an opportunity to be able to explore the different classes during the first year, and then commit to what they want to study at the end of their second year. So there's that flexibility. Back home, you know, if they assign you to a particular course, you have to do it.
And that's yet another case study of the power of passion as the Daring Abroad series continues. We leave you with today's Diaspora Bite.
After Richmond, I want to go to graduate school to study operations research. So a background in math and economics would be a good place to start. And yeah, and I really want to use my knowledge in operations research after grad school to be able to make an impact in my community.
Equity Bank Diaspora Banking. Receive money from anywhere in the world.